So this goes back to this idea of it is so important that we increase the
Mhm.
amount of people that look like us in these. That's why I was very specific with in positions that diagnose and treat, because we
Right.
do the, a lot of us are in positions, absolutely, which I I'm so grateful for, right? You have, whether it's a nursing assistant, nurse's aide,
Mhm.
you have them in these positions. We have people that
Mhm.
look like us. These are your essential workers. This is why
That's right.
COVID is higher in those groups, right?
Right. That's
Because
right.
they are working in these positions where they've never had to stop working in this
Right.
time. But I also, as many as we have there, we also need to increase that other number, because if you still again come back where you're really dealing with something that's serious and you feel like you're not being taken care of,
Right.
you're still not. I mean, what was it, 3 days ago? I think the medical student, she a black girl in I forget the state. And medical resident, not even a student. So in medical school doing residency in OBGYN, passed away delivering.
Mm.
I think it was Alabama. That's a problem from
That's a problem.
preeclampsia. Why
Mm.
did she die?
Right.
Right? So like little, we cannot say that there are not things that are present in the system that make you, this idea of I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Sims. He's
Never heard of him. Mm.
okay. Don't even worry about it. Just let me give you the synopsis, but don't even bother. Dr. Sims back in the day he's heralded as the guy who like the father of OBGYN. He
Okay.
and he created the speculum that we now use today to do pelvic exams. But what's important about him is he did multiple surgeries on enslaved black women, girls, without anesthesia
What?
to, yes,
Mm.
to fix these medical issues that they had after birth.
And in what
So,
day and time was he doing this? Now or are you talking
no,
about?
this is back. This is
No.
like the 1800s,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay. I'm sorry.
Early
I
in the
missed
time.
that
Yeah.
part.
No,
I
He was a
apologize. I
slave.
was
no.
saying we gotta go find this guy. He's
Yes.
already
No.
got
No.
one. For
He said,
real.
You're ready. You're ready for him,
We
Laquan."
about to go get him for real.
But what's important in that is, of course, as you can imagine, there were statues for him, right? Because, oh, he's the father of OBGYN. He
Yeah.
helped us, cure these. I said, but what came out of those studies? So these are like the earlier things that happened with women back then, black, you know, enslaved girls, is you then started to believe, oh, well, we did it because we didn't think black women felt pain.
Mm, mm, mm.
And that unfortunately is a pervasive thought that has carried on till today,
Mm-hmm.
right? Think about Serena Williams, and I bring her up too because remember Serena, when she had Olympia, talked about this idea of, I don't feel good. I think I have a blood clot because I've experienced a blood clot before
Right.
after she gave birth, and I
Right.
don't feel good. And they're like, you're fine. You gonna tell Serena Williams
Serena Williams.
with all of these? If anybody in this world knows their body,
Right. It's
better
her.
than it would be her. But you're gonna tell her,
Absolutely.
no,
Mm.
you're fine. So I use her as an example because I think it's important to know that even the money does not
Right.
preclude you
Right.
from still
Right.
sitting in this moment where,
Well
because
put.
you
Well put.
don't you think that they probably thought, well, you're Serena Williams. We see how you get down on
Right.
the tennis court.
Right.
You're
You
Mm-hmm.
don't feel
fine.
any pain. You're strong.
Yes.
Yes.
And she's telling you, no, if y'all
No.
don't get the study, I know I'm gonna die. When
Mm.
I heard that story, I just said, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And silence is true. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And, so touch on your brand and your website and the services you provide to clients.
So I have my company is called Powered. So my first name and then Powered. I always have to give a shout out to the husband because he came up with the name and he's always like, you better let everybody know I came up with the name. So there you go.
we do a little bit in the house, a little bit.
Yes. So he did come up with the name. And so I'm a health and wellness company. And my biggest thing, obviously, is I provide coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. I also have a course. I was actually going to launch a course this month that was going to teach people about just these huge lifestyle changes that I had to make this year when I ended up having to have surgery myself for fibroids, on just the holistic way to change life. Like Portia said earlier, it's not just about, unfortunately, the wellness industry, for some, when it is marketed, is very big on physical health. Lose weight this way, eat this. But I think what I'm starting to see, which I appreciate, is like, no, it's not just about what you eat. It's about, how are you sleeping? How are you coping in this pandemic? How are you, what else is going on from a financial and a social, there are all of these different branches of medicine or of wellness that I try to focus on. And I really, when I coach, I'm really trying to have people pay attention to all of those different things, because each and every one is important. You cannot only be thriving in your physical health and think that the discomfort you feel in the mental part is not going to affect the way you approach your physical health, your emotional health, and all of those. And so that is my biggest thing.
Wow. And okay, one thing you didn't tell them though is your journey through fibroids.
Yes.
You know where I'm getting at.
Yes, I know exactly where you're going, Portia. So when I ended up having surgery in June of this year, and for fibroids, I ended up having 17 fibroids removed. And so, yes. And 17 is important because when I initially had, again, thank goodness for this OBGYN I saw, who then referred me to another amazing OBGYN in LA that essentially just took care of me, right? And listened. And but on the MRI, what they only saw were 4. But this doctor said, I know we see 4, and I know you probably just want me to focus on that 4, but I have a feeling, because most surgeons will always look at the films themselves. They don't just take the reading. And so he's like, but when I look at the films myself, I see you're probably going to have about 20. And I'm looking at him like, 20. The reason he brings this up is he says, so I don't want you just to come in and let's do this quick day surgery in and out where I can just remove these 4 and be done with it. I need to go in and I would like to remove all of them because I have a feeling that you have way more. So it was much more. It was a bigger surgery. It was a laparotomy. So I was in surgery for 3 hours. Wow. And and certainly when I came out, he was like, yeah, we removed 17. It went well. I am beyond. The first thing I said to him on the follow-up a week later is just thank you. Thank you, because I don't know that, and I know I have some strong prayer warriors everywhere in the world, in Nigeria, my aunts, everybody was just praying because I'd never had surgery before. Right. And so I was just grateful to have that. And so in that time of healing, it was like a 2-week period where I literally could do very little, which, is a problem for me. Like, I don't like to not be able to do anything. I ended up writing this book about just my story, about how, and it's called Take 'Em Out, Lessons Learned from my, my journey with uterine fibroids. Of course, I had the wonderful Portia help me edit. And so, of course, I'm grateful and appreciative for that. It is coming out. We're going to drop it. I will let all of you know once it comes out. Please follow me. I'm sure you guys are going to put all of that information in. And really, the book it's a personal story, right? It's a short personal story about my journey with uterine fibroids and the lessons I learned, but really those lessons that I've learned, I hope to just impart on somebody else so that they don't have to go through all of that that I went through, and or just reach out, because I feel like sometimes people just need somebody to like bounce something off of and not feel the sense of like, hesitation to have to go into an office. You can reach out to me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now this book, Take 'Em Out, which I'm definitely going to purchase.
Oh, thank you.
You know what? I'm going to purchase. I'm actually multiple copies for my wife, my cousin, and my mom. Definitely. You have my order. Honestly, is the book out right now? Where can we find it?
It will be coming out. Portia is going to help me with that part. Sure. We had some technical difficulties, but it should be out at least on Kindle for purchase by the end of this weekend.
Cool. You know what?
Yes,
you'll have my order, definitely. And you know what? And I'm gonna tell all my aunties about it too.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, if you look at the number of our viewers, and hopefully it grows, but each person that watches our clip either has, especially women, will have fibroids themselves, or they will know somebody very close to them that has uterine fibroids. So it's like, for our viewers, definitely go out and purchase that book. Yes. If you're a guy, it doesn't have to be for you. It has to be for the lady in your life.
For mom, if your wife, your daughter.
She knows somebody who does. Did you hear that statistic?
Yes.
80%.
Yes. Definitely get her book. and gift it to people.
Yes.
Definitely.
I mean, of course, I've read the book and there's so much knowledge in it. And I never dealt with fibroids myself, but my mom had them. And so I experienced a lot of stuff through her from what she taught me. So reading your book, I was like, this is what my mom was going through. Like there were details in your book that I was like, some things my mom may have kept to herself, or because you really talk about your thought process in it.
Yes.
And not a lot of people do that. When you're telling somebody what happened to you, you don't really get into the nitty gritty of how you processed everything that was happening. So as I was reading it, I was picturing my mom and I was like, I wonder if my mom was thinking the same thing. If she had those same fears and all that stuff. So I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful for the book itself, because I'm like, thank you. You need to read that. It's short too, for you guys who you feel like you don't have time. It's a very short read. It's very short, but it's
quick, short, and I think, again, as you said, that was my goal, is to tell the story through my eyes. And I don't want, because I never, even when I deliver care, I never want to feel like I'm lecturing you, right? Because what I've learned over time is people don't listen. Like they're like, oh, who does she think she is? Right? But when I connect you at a level that I can identify or empathize, because I may not experience the same thing, but as long as I can empathize with what you're going through, there's a different level of connection. And I think just people feel like, oh wow, you get it. And that's really where that's how I wanted to formulate the book, is a story. It's a story of what I've learned from that journey.
Right. Yes. And you know what? I thank you, ladies. You know what? Because MM, you are a breath of fresh air. Honestly. I mean, I don't know, Portia, if you feel energy you exude in the room, it actually makes you feel good even speaking to you.
The first time
I know this book is gonna be the bomb. I know when I read the book, I'm gonna read it with a smile on my face, right?
Yes.
Because you exude this positivity and this optimism. It's like you have you're not gonna let anything stop you type of attitude.
I do. I
feel it. I see it.
I really do. But what's even bigger than that is that same whatever it is you're seeing, is I try to push that on everyone I am on.
That's right.
So if you come at me with foolishness, because let's be clear. See, sometimes people, like public service announcement, sometimes people take that niceness and like that give you a smile, and I'm trying to identify you as a weakness. No. Like I am not here for the games either, right?
Right.
And so because within that, I always just try to have people remember, like, this world is so big. Like this world is so big, and there's so many other things that are greater than what you are currently experiencing now. I want to identify what you feel, but I just want you to understand that if you just maybe do this, a little bit of this, then it might change. And so you don't have to dwell in that, moment of non-positivity. There you go.
Definitely.
Well,
so, Portia, do you have any final words for MM on the viewers?
I just want to say thank you. I was going to say, you said she's a breath of fresh air.
Breath of fresh air.
When we first met, I was like, I love this girl. Like, she's amazing. She makes me feel so happy. So, MM, I love you. You are amazing, and I'm just glad that's.
Thank you.
I'm glad we're sisters, because I'm very.
Yes.
You're a good person, not just a decent person, but realistic. You are down to earth.
Yes.
I just thank you
so
much for taking the time to talk to us, to teach us about stuff. Because even though I read your book, I was still hit with some facts today that I was not ready for.
Yes, and I know in the book I probably only give one of those stats, because again, I think what's important is I want you to learn about the journey. I can give you stats later, right? But I need you to learn about the journey, because I think it's the journey. My hope is the journey is what moves you to want to get help. That's really what the goal was. And so, and it's a pleasure. It is an honor. I said that at the beginning, and I mean it. Because again, this would have never happened had I never met you, Portia. And so thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. It's an honor for everyone who's listening. I hope that you sent me the earlier video. So I already liked, subscribe. All of that is really important, because us working as a community, I think 2020 has highlighted the importance of that. I told Portia honestly why I chose It is probably a hilarious story to her, but there's a reason I chose her to be my editor. And it's a reason why I chose Ajibola to be the person who, created my cover. There's a reason for that, because I think our voices need to be edified.
That's right.
And I think that's important no matter where you are in the world. And at that time, she happened to be in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I second that. For that, what? I chose Portia for that same reason.
See? Listen.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Ajibola. He is a cover creator and a Photoshop connoisseur. So he's very good at digital arts. So shout out to him. He did the cover of MM's book, and he also did the cover of Quan John's book.
Motivational Motives.
Look at that.
It's on Amazon right now. The audio book will be out very, very soon. Okay. When you're purchasing Motivational Motives, also by the end of the week, Take 'Em Out? Take 'Em Out by MM Brown.
Yes.
Bring it close.
If you want work done from Portia Mystique Steele, the link will be in the description where you can find her. All right, because she's phenomenal, honestly.
Q, bring the book close. It's too far away. Let us see it. Let's see what that look like. Down. Bring it down.
That is a cover.
Look at that.
I love it.
Let's see the back. Let's see the back.
All right.
Look at that.
It's good.
That's amazing.
Right.
And it's a good book too. I
love it.
Thank you.
I know you're a reader. You gotta read Motivation.
Yes. Well, you're gonna send me the link because again, we're supporting here, so I
absolutely.
When you upload yours and I can buy, you let me know. Yes.
Absolutely.
Collective. This is done. It's on Amazon.
Mine's done. Mine's on Amazon right now.
Then I don't even need to wait. Motivational Motives. Okay.
Motivational
Perfect.
Motives. All right. So MM Brown, she has told her MRI. Her MRI is very inspirational. All right. So we signing up. Quan John, Portia Mystique. All right.